up outside for the NC State game who could not get in because of, fire regulations. A lot of students here, they're jumping up and down, they're ready.
I'm ready. I mean, this has been a highlight for me just to come in here tonight, and it is wonderful that the fans have come out to support these two great programs the way they have.
First of two meetings during the regular season. They will finish the regular season in Durham on February the 26th. A lot of basketball to be played between now and then. Courtney Banghart in her 4th year in charge of North Carolina. They've been a little bit streaky, riding a 3-game winning streak after they lost their first 3 conference games of the year.
But I like what Courtney had to say to us today. She goes, I know the deficiencies and I now know how to fix them, and credit to her for that tough non-conference schedule.
And we are underway. Probably don't have to tell you that Duke is wearing the blue uniforms. Carolina in their home whites. Kennedy Brown, so important to this team. A lot of the offense runs through the Oregon State transfer, and there is a quick turnover for the Blue Devils. North Carolina, their starting 5. Good to see Alyssa Usby out there. Did not do much in shoot-around today. She was a little bit under the weather, non-COVID illness. She had to get a couple of bags of fluid, but she's a tough kid. She's playing.
As I said earlier, the legend of Usby continues to grow. It just shows you how tough and resilient this young lady is.
Coming off 18 rebounds in the win here against NC State over the weekend, and there's a foul. Joe Vasili, Tiara Cruz, and John Capolino, our officials tonight. That one called on Reagan Richardson, a Georgia transfer. There are 11 transfers in all on this Duke team.
Well, Pam, you and I had this Duke team in November, and it is a very different looking Duke team now. At that time, the bench was as balanced and giving as many points per game as the starters. Now, Carol Lawson relying on the starters for point production, but goes very deep into this bench.
Todd Williams, an 81% free throw shooter, nails them both. The Duke starting lineup, we have been used to seeing pretty much the entire season. Cheyenne Day-Wilson, a sophomore from Toronto, a key component as their point guard. Elizabeth Balagoon with the ball, puts it up, has it cup out. Great effort. Celeste Taylor couldn't save it, but Taylor's numbers in the conference way up from what she did in non-conference play. Making better decisions on the floor, getting comfortable in this new system.
And Carol Lawson said Celeste Taylor has put the work in. She's been working on her outside shot at game speed, and it is showing off in ACC play.
Balagoon just blocked Usby's shot. There's Celeste Taylor. Transfer from Texas. That one's well off the mark. Rebound by Balagoon, who is their best rebounder. On a team that doesn't have eye-popping rebounding numbers. Day-Wilson off the back iron. Good box out for Anya Poole. And now Todd Williams running the floor. Can't get it to go. And this is a great pace.
Absolutely. Both coaches want this pace.
Day-Wilson lost it momentarily. Carol Lawson's first concern was to slow down North Carolina in their transition. Her team setting up in the half court. Brown, good look. That's well short. And the fans at Carmichael let her know it is an air ball.
Well, something right now to watch, and we've already seen it, they just haven't been able to convert, is Duke's ability to create second chance opportunities. Rebounding has not been a strength of North Carolina's to this point in the season, so key for them to keep the Blue Devils off the glass.
In fact, they out-rebounded NC State on Sunday. First time they have done this year in the conference. Deja Kelly challenging inside, and there's Usby. Her first basket for the all-effort player from Rochester, Minnesota. Eva Hodgson out checking Richardson at the top. Duke 0 for 4 from the floor so far. Taylor dribbled right into trouble. And the tie-up gives the ball to the Tar Heels. And then some extras. Taylor and Todd Williams. And I think the officials are going to have to go over to the monitor It looked like there was a little extra stuff going on.
Well, first of all, you just see Celeste Williams trying to split the double team on the on-ball screen, and this is a rivalry game. We started the tip-off saying this, emotions are high. And I really hope nothing gets elevated there.
You saw Taylor elevate her foot. They're going to check to see if they need to elevate it. We're going to take a timeout. Already, it's heated. We're not even 3 minutes into this game. Wow. You see, Christy?
I saw a lot of emotions that I'm hoping both coaches have an opportunity to talk to their coaches. Honestly, emotions in the moment, I didn't see anything that warranted any extra, but the officials are about to tell us.
Intentional foul on blue
right
0
now
and
to
white 3. Intentional
Celeste
foul, blue 0,
Taylor,
white 3.
who got tangled up with Kennedy Todd Williams.
And this is why I'm not an official. They said double intentional fouls that goes to the point of interruption.
So maybe just trying to nip this in the bud a little bit early. So Todd Williams and Taylor each hit with an intentional foul. Duke still looking for its first points of the game, and now's the full court pressure that we're used to seeing from the Blue Devils. Hodgson trying to get it in.
And this is what I was talking about with the decision-making for Deja Kell. You saw them doubling the ball. They've got to be able to avoid the sidelines and avoid picking up the dribble.
Taylor and Balagoon just hounding Hodgson. And then a foul with 14 seconds left on the shot clock as they get Taylor. Lawson speaking to Taylor, who goes out of the game. Taylor, remember, she just picked up that intentional foul, so that's her second foul. Picked up 2 in a hurry. Deja Kelly back rims it. Rebound coming down to Brown, Kennedy Brown. And so for Duke, Jordan Oliver, number 11, the Baylor transfer, has checked in. There she is, came in for Taylor, who is out with the 2 fouls.
And Pam, we started this broadcast talking about how good Duke's defense is, but let me be clear. North Carolina is a very good defense as well. Just not as astounding, I should say, as Duke's. But so far in this game, they have been the more disruptive defense on the floor tonight.
Yes, they're kind of doing to Duke what Duke is used to doing to others. Ashlyn Jackson, number 3, the freshman in the game for Duke, in the backcourt. Great defense to take it away. And now Carolina looking to run. Day Wilson got in the way, and she's whistled for her first personal foul. And the fouls piling up on Duke with less than 4 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
Duke will play a lot of players, so they've got the depth. Obviously, you don't want to give free points to North Carolina on the free throw line, but I do believe Celeste Taylor going to the bench is a big blow for the Blue Devils because she's the engine for this program.
Dave Wilson goes out to Jesus, comes in, and a nice play for Anya Poole. And another foul on Duke.
Well, Pam, when North Carolina can get points for Anya Poole, it is icing on the cake for the Tar Heels. Great job by Poole to show her hands. Even better touch at the rim.
Foul on Kennedy Brown. Poole misses the free throw. Now Duke 0 for 4 from the floor with 3 turnovers. Still looking for their breakthrough, and a foul underneath as they tried to get the ball into Balagoon. Usby picks up her first personal foul.
Pam, that's the one player for the Tar Heels that I follow when it comes to foul trouble. In 5 of the losses for North Carolina this season, she's been in foul trouble. She needs to be able to stay on the floor for the Tar Heels.
So no coincidence there. Another turnover. It's their 4th. Deja Kelly, that's a chancy pass. Way too many Blue Devils in the paint. To Jesus, to Jackson. Fouled. Offensive foul.
Well, we knew this was going to be up-tempo in transition, and Anya Poole gets to the spot, gets solid, and she is above the restricted arc. At first glance, I thought it was a block, but great call by the official.
Yeah, just in the nick of time, and her feet just outside of that restricted area. So 5 turnovers, pardon me, for Duke, and no points. Nice. Usby finding Poole. Anya Poole only averages 5 points per game. She has 4 already.
And that's just a great job. I'm a big believer. If someone's going to press you, you got to attack the press. And so far, when North Carolina has done that, they've gotten good looks.
De Jesus with the air ball.
Press break offense has to be a mentality. It's got to be a moxie. You got to make a team regret pressing you. Great job getting the ball to the middle. You create numbers. Anya Poole with the finish.
Usby, such a good all-around player, as you referenced.
And Pam, one thing I'll say, if you're a Duke fan, I don't think you need to be panicking just yet, because the cumulative effect of a press, what will the 4th quarter look like for the Tar Heels? Because they're having to exert so much just to get into the half-court offense right now.
Duke has had some great defensive 4th quarters. Boy, Usby, after a terrific feed from Poole, couldn't get it down. Balagoon getting it over to De Jesus, backup point guard on this team. Jackson, still nothing. Good box out by Poole. Inside to Usby, terrific play by Jackson, the freshman. And then gets it down to Oliver. Duke can't buy a point right now.
Duke is almost too sped up on the offensive end, trying to score so quickly there.
That looked like a good look. Kelly able to separate, but left it well short. And a kick. We'll reset the shot clock, and everybody can take a little bit of a breath. Now, Duke and North Carolina, part of our basketball quadruple header next Sunday. Louisville, Syracuse at noon Eastern. Blue Devils, Florida State, followed by the Heels at Clemson. Virginia Tech, Virginia caps the day. What a great day Sunday will be on the ACC Network and the ESPN app. Virginia, much improved. New head coach. Good stuff.
And you're seeing this amoeba defense that UNC's been running a lot in their last 3 games. Courtney Banghart just grinned today when I brought it up.
And Duke cannot figure it out. What is the amoeba defense?
It's not really a 3-2. It's not really a 2-3. It just kind of morphs, in my opinion, based on the offensive alignment.
Hence amoeba. It just kind of moves.
You're the word person, Pam. I'm going to defer to you on that one.
Banghart, neuroscience degree from Dartmouth, so I'm sure she could explain it to all of us. Kelly at the line. How about Deja Kelly just getting her first point? Leading scorer on this team, averaging 16 per game. And she gets to the line a lot. Has taken more than twice as many free throws as Kennedy Todd Williams, who's number 2 in line. She gets there a lot, 7 times a game.
Well, a lot of it's just how aggressive Deja Kelly is. But I got to tell you, I like it more when she starts the game facilitating, getting everybody else involved, and then taking it over offensively.
10-0, North Carolina. Duke, well, the fewest points they've scored in any quarter is 7, and they need to flourish to even get close to that here. Best defensive team in the league right now can't score against North Carolina. DeJesus, nope. Usby coming away from it, looking to run. Duke wanted to walk. And now they get one on Todd Williams. Fourth turnover now for the Heels. Duke, 6 turnovers, 0 for 8 from the floor.
And when you're facing a good defensive team, you've got to know what you're going to do with the ball before it hits your hands, and that's where Duke is struggling right now, especially with their leading scorer, Celeste Taylor, on the bench.
You see Carol Lawson using different players, shaking up the lineup. They do go 10 deep. Great hands by Destiny Adams, 7 turnovers for Carolina. Kelly into the teeth of the defense. Todd Williams left open. A rebound taken down by Mia Heide, the transfer from Tulane. It's not like Carolina's lighting it up with just 10 points, but Duke's being shut out until right now. Finally, Jordan Oliver able to break the slide after they had missed their first 8 shots as a team.
And so when they score, they can extend into that full court pressure, which is a very different type of press than when it's a dead ball.
Eva Hodgson with the ball, getting it over to Todd Williams. There's Kelly. Maybe not the best decision in the world as she went into a lot of Duke shirts in the paint.
Well, you've seen turnovers for both teams where they're just not strong with the ball. You're going near defender and you don't have 2 hands on it. You're not strong with it. Rivalry game, every possession matters. You've got to take care of the ball.
Heide got it blocked away by Usby. DeJesus with the much-needed 3.
And give Taya Korsdale all the credit for that, keeping that possession alive for the Blue Devils.
So now North Carolina's drought has gone over 4 minutes. And that is a very enthusiastic room person who came out.
Pam, safety first.
Yep.
She was going to get to the floor.
The ball had to be inbounded first.
And honestly, this helps Duke because it allows them to get solid defensively and get this press set up.
Paulina Paris, the only newcomer for Courtney Banghart. Number 2 is the true freshman, getting ready to inbound it now, as Duke has run off 5 straight points. They are 2 of 10 from the floor. North Carolina a barely better 3 of 10. Minute to go in the first quarter. Kelly left open for 3. Todd Williams, aggressive rebound, but then she was blocked.
Good decision.
Try to reset, pardon me.
As you're saying, good decision by Kelly. Don't force that. Get your team solid and get a good shot.
Shot clock at 5 now.
But get a good shot.
That did not happen. Jackson. Contact and a foul. Destiny Adams with the foul.
Well, Pam, there's some teams that have rim protectors in terms of true post players. You're seeing it from UNC, that they are protecting the rim by rotating over and drawing charges. This time, it was Destiny. And when I say Destiny, I mean Destiny Adams. This is a young player that I just think has such a tremendous future here.
Foul is on Ashlyn Jackson, the charge for Duke, her second. Kelly with the bucket. And that ends the first quarter, very low score. Pam Ward along with Christy Thomas Scuddy at a very loud Carmichael Arena. First of two regular season matchups between these two rivals. Duke unbeaten in the ACC so far. Balogun with her first points of the night. Her second year at Duke after starting at Georgia Tech, going to Louisville. She's doing the ACC tour. But she's out of eligibility, so stopping now. Todd Williams, good look at the three, but just a little bit too strong. Usby gets tied up. Day Wilson back in the game. Played limited minutes, the starting point guard for Duke, as she picked up a couple of quick fouls. Or one quick foul, I should say.
And one thing I'm already seeing from North Carolina here this evening is their pursuit on rebounds. We've seen them leave the ground and get sky high, but they are definitely looking to create extra scoring opportunities by getting on the glass.
Duke has hit its last 3 shots after missing their first 8. Nice change of direction by Day Wilson, but Carolina able to knock it out of bounds to stop that. Day Wilson looking, finding Balogun.
Well, it's the Samiba defense again that's continuing to give Duke problems. That time they didn't know where to go to get open.
Anya Poole coming up with another rebound for North Carolina. Todd Williams very quick to the basket. Balogun called for the foul. She thought she had herself a block.
I don't think Kennedy Todd Williams realized that Kennedy was the one guarding her, so she takes it to the rim, and I thought it was all ball by Balogun on the rotation.
Todd Williams back at the free throw line. Carolina 4 of 5 from the charity stripe. Duke has yet to take a foul shot.
Well, I'm wondering just how much the 3 charges will affect Duke's offense. How much will they continue to try to get to the rim, knowing that they've been stopped 3 times with those charges.
And you see Kennedy Todd Williams, who just delivered at the free throw line last couple of games, has really come on. That was that huge win here against NC State that was on ESPN on Sunday, and before that, a win at Virginia. Junior from Jacksonville, North Carolina, who said that she knew since 6th grade she was going to be a Tar Heel. There was no other place for her. There was a foul called on Carolina. Second on Usby. That's your uh-oh, right?
That's a huge uh-oh. She just does so much. She band-aids so many things, both offensively and defensively. And we already talked about how great she is on the glass. So numerous times this season, Courtney Banghart has shown her faith in Usby, just going with her with the 2 fouls in the first half.
And she is staying out there for Coach Banghart. National Coach of the Year in 2015. Great things in 12 years at Princeton.
When it comes to leader of women, there are very few coaches who I've met that have just made me go wow the way Courtney Banghart has. Watching her practice, watching her interact with young coaches, with young players, she's just a tremendous role model for our game.
That was Duke's first trip to the free throw line. Harris gets over Usby, has to be careful. How about that with the left hand? Driving into the lane, even with 2 fouls, and finished.
Just Usby doing Usby things.
And remember, she's not 100%. Was feeling poorly this morning. Off-balance shot, off the mark by Jackson. Kelly, little hesitation, too strong off the glass. Asia Kelly, just 1 of 7 from the floor.
Something for both of these teams, knowing how their opponent wants to get out in transition. Shot selection is just as important as turnovers.
That's a tie-up between Balogun and Usby.
Alyssa Usby's just so good in so many different ways. Knowing she has the 2 fouls, doesn't try to get to the rim, instead stays flat, uses great touch to finish.
certainly the engine of this team. Another turnover for the Devils. That is turnover number 9. They average about 15 per game. They are second in the league in turnover margin. Carolina is first. They're both teams with these pressure defense, turning the ball over more than usual in this game.
Pam, two things if you're a Duke fan. First of all, you're only down 7 and you have not played well at all. Second of all, when you play defense the way they do, you are never out of a ball game.
Adams did travel. They got her for it.
I agree with Adams, though. I thought Paris had the backdoor cut there. Paris stayed at home, and that's what caused the turnover.
That's therefore the hesitation, and that brought on the turnover. Gordon Oliver inside now to Brown, guarded by Poole. Brown, nice dish over to Balagoon. Kennedy Brown playing her first year at Duke after starting out at Oregon State, one of 2 Oregon State transfers on this team. And that was another travel. Adams going right into a double team.
Kennedy Brown, the 6'6" post players, also one of the better passers for the Blue Devils. Knows she's got a double team, so finds the open player down low, and can't say enough about the things that Carol Lawson said about Brown. She said she's the first true rim protector that I've had here. She goes, it just lets us do so many different things defensively.
Paulina Paris called for her first foul for North Carolina. In this game, we have 9 made field goals and 17 turnovers between the 2 teams. And here is Cheyenne Day Wilson. Last year led the team in scoring at 13 points per game. Scoring is down, but this is a totally different Duke team. They needed her to score more last year.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, she's got scores around her. So much of the offense, so much of the defense fell on her shoulders a year ago. She had to come down, break presses, didn't get the ball back last year. Now she can come down and find her open teammates for easier looks. But she can still score, Pam. That's for sure.
A lot of talent. Freshman of the year last year in the league. Gives it up to Kelly.
And you notice UNC has started to struggle to score now that Duke's done a better job of taking care of the basketball.
Yep, North Carolina led this game big early on, 10-0 in fact. Outscored 12-6 since. Here's Paris, the only freshman on this Carolina team. Hodgson, she's been quiet offensively. She is one of the big 3-point threats on this team, averaging over 2 threes per game. Balagoon left it short. And then a foul on the follow. Asia Kelly called for her first personal as Usby comes back in after a brief rest along with Todd Williams for North Carolina. Balagoon goes out for Duke. And right off the inbounds, the quick shot doesn't go down for Richardson, the Georgia transfer.
Pam, I got to tip my hat to Poole so far. She had that great reverse layup early. She's done a tremendous job on the screen on the ball defense to take Duke's straight line drives away, and then she's done a good job on the glass as well.
Yeah, leading everybody with 5 rebounds, but Carolina has just thrown the ball away. 9 turnovers. Anya Poole, junior from Raleigh, said she doesn't like to say this, but her mom was a Duke fan. M.A. Vopel wrote a great column that you told me about that's on ESPN.com. Take a look at that about all the great basketball in the triangle this year. Day Wilson, there you go. She can score.
Just looks so effortless when Day Wilson gets the ball in her hands.
And all of a sudden, it's a 2-point ball game. Shot clock winding down. Kelly goes up and under. And the ball goes back over to Duke. So Duke, once down 10-0, can tie it or go ahead when we come back. Has going in, and for the Blue Devils, they have only lost to the University of Connecticut. That was back in Portland around Thanksgiving time, and they are projected as a number 3 seed, just their 3rd game against a team in the top 25 of the net. Carolina's net ranking is 21. And now a Duke team that was down 10-0 can draw even. And they have done this with Celeste Taylor only playing 3 minutes because she picked up 2 fouls.
And we've talked about the depth of this Blue Devil team, how many different players that Kara Lawson will play. For me, the bottom line right now for Duke, take care of the basketball, and this is a very different ball game.
Yes, both teams have had trouble with turnovers. Oliver gives them a second chance. Celeste Taylor, their leading scorer at 13 points per game, just took 1 shot before she left the game. Day Wilson gets a friendly roll, and we are tied. North Carolina has gone almost 5 minutes without scoring, during which time they've had 4 turnovers.
I'm not saying Usby needs to shoot the ball here, but I want to see her get involved, either 2-man action or whatnot, and let her be a playmaker for this offense.
And Kelly continuing to shoot, hits that time. Deja's got 6. Carolina up 2 with 3 minutes to go in the first half. Day Wilson just decided to take it herself and hit it. And look like she blew a kiss like right in front of the North Carolina bench.
You just feel like it's always a matter of time before Day Wilson just gets going offensively. You got to feel like Celeste Taylor's on the bench. All right, it's my team now offensively, and she's just looked over to Kara Lawson saying, hey, I need a blow, coach.
She has scored the last 8 points for Duke. Kelly. How did that go in?
It's called the home court. She knows her rims.
Right after Day Wilson hit one, Kelly knocked down a triple. Many of the fans on their feet here at Carmichael. Brown, nope, pull another board. Kelly, some contact with DeJesus. Todd Williams off the side of the backboard, so the shot clock did not reset. Kelly. Well short, but how about back-to-back threes?
Well, when your team needs a bucket, Cheyenne Day Wilson says 2's not good enough. I'm going to step back for the 3. And I'm really hoping she can blow that kiss to the UNC bench. But then the veteran steps up for UNC and knocks it down in Deja Kelly.
Yeah, just your typical rim, backboard, rim, in. 3 shot.
Come on, Pam, that's how you shoot it. You got the touch.
Yeah. A lot of iron. DeJesus, this is a really solid player for Kara Lawson. Terrific backup point guard. Now a junior. Ties the game up. Just what you'd expect here between Duke and Carolina. Usby knocked out of her hands by DeJesus, regathered, and then is called for a travel. So between DeJesus and Kennedy Brown, terrific defense.
Pam, it's not one person playing great defense. It is 5 players for the Blue Devils connected defensively that forced that turnover.
Yeah, Corisdale was in on it too. So 3 of the 5 players for Duke helped stop Usby. Richardson misses. Todd Williams, pull up. North Carolina now shooting 28% from the floor. Duke not better at 32%. Kelly with time running out. And a foul has been called on a desperation shot. Now Joe Vasili's going to go out and see if it happened before the clock expired. Minutes, their leading scorer picked up a couple of fouls in the first 3 minutes of the ball game. Did not come back onto the floor. She is starting the second half.
Well, I think if you're a Duke fan, you've got to be ecstatic right now. Tie game, Celeste Taylor does not hardly play and really has no impact in the first half. Now for UNC, this is what I wanted to see. Usby getting early touch.
Alyssa Usby had a couple of baskets in the first half. It's so important on this team. They have 3 players, including her, who average at least 13.5 points per game.
And after the basket, we see that amoeba defense by UNC that's really done a good job against Duke in the half court.
2 of the best defenses in the ACC during conference play. Balagoon got it blocked from behind by Usby. And now she brings the ball up the floor. Brown didn't challenge her in time. 2 quick baskets for Usby.
And that's what I'm sure both coaches want from an offensive perspective. Get a stop, rely on our strength, which is defense. Then let's get a good look quickly in transition without the opponent's defense getting set.
Kennedy Brown did not score in the first half. Front that one off the backboard, but a second chance thanks to Richardson's rebound. Dave Wilson, wow, she is so much fun to watch. Has been on some Canadian national teams, wants to be part of the senior program in that revamped team. She is the only one really shooting the ball well for Duke. She's 4 or 5 from the floor. Rest of the team under 24%. Hodgson needs to get going right. Just 1 shot in the first half.
Absolutely, and Duke's doing a good job of running her off the 3-point line. It's going to be critical for Eva Hodgson not to over-penetrate, maybe get 1 or 2 dribbles, and then look for that pull-up jumper.
Averaging double figures, their best 3-point shooter, graduated from William & Mary in only 3 years. And now is in the NBA program. They did not get it off in time. 12th turnover, pardon me, for Courtney Banghart's team.
Well, that's where I thought Eva Hodgson had 1, 2 dribble, then look for that shot. Don't take it all the way into the paint because the rotation of Duke is just too good.
And she's not really known for taking too many shots off the bounce.
And the other thing we're seeing from a defense perspective, both these teams are so well scouted. A team's making a play call, the opponents are echoing it. They know what's happening, so they're taking away first and second options. The key now in conference play, can you execute and get that 3rd or 4th option to go? And Reagan Richardson says, yes, I can.
Absolutely. After the offensive rebound, Richardson beat the shot clock. Reagan Richardson, just her 5th 3 of the year, was only shooting 17% from distance before that went in. And a backcourt violation. Duke forces the 13th turnover for North Carolina, which is their season average. Duke doing a good job of hanging on to the ball since the first quarter. Taylor is yet to score. Balagoon, little ball fake, got Poole just far enough away to get the shot off.
And I think Balagoon's such a big part of why Duke is playing so well on both ends of the floor. Such an athletic defender, but offensively can get second chance opportunities, can create her own shot, and can obviously knock it down from 15 feet.
And head coach Carol Lawson credits Balagoon for her versatility, so she can guard 1 through 5 defensively. Kelly with another miss. Poole has been really good rebounding the ball tonight.
Absolutely, and I love Poole's game because she doesn't try to play out of her skill set. Great screener, rebounder, defender, doing exactly what Courtney Banghart wants her to do.
Hodgson goes to the bench. Duke with its biggest lead of the night next to this 7-0 run. Balagoon, good defense on Usby, but she still got it off.
Sometimes there's good defense, but just better playmakers, and that's what Alyssa Usby did in that execution of that sideline out of bounds play.
Day Wilson feeling it, but that one was wide left. Todd Williams, speaking of needing to get going, 0 for 6 from the floor in the first half. So she goes coast to coast.
Pam, I got to tell you, I've been in Tennessee, I've been at South Carolina this season. This is the loudest arena that I have been in to this point in the season. To the point, I'm having a hard time hearing myself think.
Yes.
Tremendous applause, tremendous educated fans here this evening. It's been a blast to be a part of this so far.
One of the great rivalries in all of sports. Shot clock winding down. Todd Williams elevates. Got it! The student section to our left, they've been on their feet the whole game, and now some of the other fans joining them. It's a 6-0 Carolina run to counter the 7-0 Duke run. Balagoon with a huge three. Doesn't take a lot of threes, but shoots at a high percentage, 44% on the season. And that ties the game up.
Pam, if you're on the road, you need your veteran players to make big shots, and that's what we've seen from Balagoon here this evening.
Balagoon and Usby, that's a good matchup on this end of the floor. Shot clock again, winding down. Paris, the freshman, top shot, and it goes in. First basket of the game for the freshman from New York. Day Wilson with the miss, and then Kelly crunches into Richardson for her second foul.
Duke needed a bucket. Elizabeth Balagoon answers with the three. And then for UNC, the only freshman, Paulina Paris, so good at getting to the rim.
ACC Network too, and she's always animated. And of course, Trinidad James, the rapper.
Also known to Pam Ward as TJ.
TJ, Trin, you know, whatever works. But Ivory Latta is here. Jessica Breland also over on the baseline, two of the all-time greats from this North Carolina program. And Ivory hasn't been sitting down much during this game.
And neither have the fans anywhere in this facility.
Yeah, the student section, they have not sat down at all. Those seats are superfluous for them.
This is the way it should be. Fans celebrating great women's basketball. Hats off to the fans here this evening.
Just what you hope for, especially in a rivalry like this. Paris just picked up her first foul for the Heels. Borisdale picks up her dribble. Borisdale looks good, just a little bit too strong as the shot clock expires. Now we see Alexandra Zelaya in the game for the first time, number 0 for North Carolina. Only played 7 players in the first half. Duke goes 10 deep. Usby fouled in lane. North Carolina 6 of 7 from the floor in the third quarter. Only hit 7 field goals in the entire first half, doing a better job of getting close to the rim. Nothing but net coming your way tonight and every Thursday night at 10 Eastern time, as they will take a look at all the games that happen in the ACC. Kelly Kelsey Muffet, and we've got Lexi Brown in as well. Getting to the rim again. Paris.
We talk about Deja Kelly's ability to create off the bounce, but I got to tell you right now, Paulina Paris's ability not just to beat her player, but to avoid the rotation has been remarkable to watch here in person. This young lady's going to be so special for the Tar Heels.
Coach Banghart talked about how much she trusted her, even as a true freshman. More bodies on the court. Todd Williams and Celeste Taylor tied up back in the first half. Taylor then picked up another foul quickly, only played 3 minutes in the first half and took a shot. And Taylor, their leading scorer, still no points tonight.
Taylor does so much for them from a defensive perspective. I really believe she's the glue player. I think that's why they struggled as much as they did in that first quarter when she went to the bench, because they just haven't been used to her having to sit that quickly in a game. And Pam, something I'm eager to see is what we talked about from the beginning. This pressure defense of Duke, would it have a cumulative effect as we approach this part of the game? I really believe that's why Courtney Banghart went to Ali Zelaya, wanting to give Poole a break going into this fourth quarter, because as you said, they only played 2 players off the bench in that first half, whereas Duke just kept running players into this game.
And 3 ACC road games this year against NC State, Wake Forest, and Georgia Tech. The Duke defense has given up only 9 field goals total in the fourth quarter. And you asked Carol Lawson about that. Is it necessarily because of the depth? She said 6 games, not a big enough sample size, but she said her team, and she loves this about her team, they play hard from first whistle to last whistle.
I'll tell you, I mean, as someone who used to press throughout games, you may not see the effects in that first quarter. You may not get the turnovers or the miss or the stops on defense, but it does have a cumulative effect come fourth quarter.
Balagoon just picked up her second foul.
I got to give Deja Kelly a little credit for the acting there on that one. But regardless, turnover, Duke.
And now the pressure. Todd Williams going to wait for some help. North Carolina has hit 7 of its 8 shots in this quarter. They only hit 7 shots in the entire first half.
And Pam, I believe 5 of those were getting to the rim, so taking higher percentage looks as well.
Usby underneath, and she does it again. Usby with 8 points in this quarter. Heidi, nice roll to the basket, but she left it short. Duke hangs on to the basketball. Day Wilson comes back into the game for DeJesus.
Well, Pam, this is all Usby because the pass was delivered late. Defense gets solid on her. She goes to the reverse to avoid any kind of rotation. Just great touch by Alyssa Usby.
Concerted effort to get her the ball near the rim, and it's paid off here in the third quarter. Duke has missed its last 6 shots, falling behind by 6. Brown didn't even look to shoot, and look who did it. Usby, all the way. Usby has scored as many points in this quarter as Duke has as a team. Balagoon, whistle, and a foul against the Heels.
They got Zelaya for a hold on that as Duke was going for that offensive rebound.
First foul on Alexandra, a junior from Arizona.
And this is a credit to the defensive pressure by both these teams. How much the ball it's caught, then it's stuck, or it's a long pass, and defense is shooting the gaps for the turnovers.
Kelly draws the foul after the steal on a very chancy cross-court pass. Day Wilson's second personal foul. North Carolina outscoring Duke 18-10 in this quarter. Here's Deja Kelly at the line. The first point of the second half, coming off a big win against NC State, but Kelly did not shoot the ball well, just 2 of 13 for 5 points in that game. She's 3 of 12 tonight. But can deliver at the free throw line, gets 1 out of 2. Barely a difference between the game and shot clock. Carolina on a 15-3 run after a 7-0 Duke run that gave them the lead. Five seconds to shoot. Day Wilson, Balagoon, baseline, good look, but it wouldn't fall. Usby with 12 points in that quarter.
Alyssa Usby did a little bit.
See the numbers for Usby. Was not feeling well today, had a mask on during shoot-around. It's a non-COVID illness. There's a Celeste Taylor foul, her third. But Usby got 2 bags of IV fluid earlier today, and we talked to Courtney Banghart. First question, it's got to be, is Usby, what's up with her? She goes, oh, she's playing. It's like nothing. It's just they wanted to preserve her strength for the game. Made a concerted effort, it certainly looked like in the third quarter, to get her touches in the paint, and she delivered. Pam Ward and Christy Thomas-Gutty joining you from Carmichael in Chapel Hill. North Carolina trying to hand Duke its first loss in the conference this season. Harris trying to get it underneath to Zelaya, but that's turnover number 15, and Courtney Banghart, I probably just said, don't do that again. Something like that, right? That's what you coaches would say?
It's pretty simple sometimes. Do this, don't do this.
Another whistle away from the action. The officials trying to keep a hold on this action. 2 quick ones on Zelaya.
Zelaya's just trying to bump Kennedy Brown as she crossed the lane, and that's a no-no. You can't impede their lane, or I should say their direction.
What a play by Usby, knocking it off at Taylor.
Alyssa Usby impacts a game in so many different ways. She's always got high, active hands defensively, and then the heads-up play to knock it off the opponent.
She's a terrific athlete. Was a great softball and soccer player in high school, and won a punt, pass, and kick competition at the North Carolina football game this year. Usby kicked a 35-yard field goal. The Dallas Cowboys should sign her because their guy can't kick extra points.
I was going to say, there's a lot of teams out there who need a reliable kicker.
Wow, what a great athlete, and it just plays very evenly. You don't see her get really 2 up or 2 down, just does all the hard work. Comes Paris, North Carolina trying to extend it back to a double-digit lead. Usby sets a mean screen on Taylor. Kelly, that's nice. There's a high percentage shot for Deja after some nice work, and this is the biggest lead of the game. 26 paint points now for the Heels. And the fans are feeling it. Day Wilson, nope. Kennedy Brown tied up and fouled.
Deja Kelly has great speed, but you know what, Pam? You don't always need speed. I love the change of speed here. There, just a quick hesitation, which allowed her to make her defender's feet go dead and then gets to the rim.
Missed 8 of her 11 shots in the first half. Zelaya just picked up foul number 3. And another foul on North Carolina.
Now, if you're North Carolina, as well as you've been playing in the half-court defensively, you want to cut out these fouls, because the last thing you want to do is put Duke at the free throw line.
Third foul on Usby. Tough shot for Richardson. Kelly, another drive to the basket. This is when she's at her best. We already talked about how she gets to the line on average 7 times per game. We've seen her doing that more here in the second half.
And that's a veteran move by Kelly. It was supposed to be a handoff. She saw the defender bit, so she kept it. Kelly's asking for them to go to the monitor because she thought it was purposeful. I thought it was a smart defensive move by Day Wilson.
Yeah, Day Wilson just picked up her 3rd foul. Well, the officials will talk about it. Timeout on the floor. Courtney Banghart's team getting some distance, now up 9.
That's all I could do defensively. I was so slow back in the day, so.
Deja Kelly back at the free throw line. She's 3 of 4 tonight. Duke has won 11 straight games overall. 6-0 in the ACC, the only team not to have lost a conference game yet. And I would say with 8 minutes left to go, still a lot of time. Low scoring game though, so they're teetering right now.
Well, now it's all about, for Duke, there is no 11-point shot. So just one possession at a time, get a good look. For Celeste, that's one of the best looks she's had tonight, this evening. Great job by Reagan Richardson to get on the glass.
Reagan Richardson, one of Carol Lawson's favorites, says she sprints every time, always full speed ahead. Great two-way player. Former Georgia Bulldog.
And we were talking about during the break that if these players don't know what they're going to do with the ball before it hits their hands, it's too late. Both of these defenses are just so well connected in the half court that if they hold it, the passing lane or that shot opportunity is gone.
Usby hustles. Another board. Kelly driving. Balagoon, great job to cut her off. Usby had a terrific 3rd quarter with 12 points. Gives it up, and the bucket for Todd Williams into double figures after not hitting a field goal in the first half.
That was a great read by Candy Todd Williams because Kenny Brown was on Usby knowing she had the range. She stayed out there.
Brown attacking the basket. Usby couldn't hang on.
Candy Todd Williams, known for her 3-point shooting, puts it on the ground, and watch Kennedy Brown, she kind of hesitates a moment because she's guarding Usby. Kennedy Todd Williams saw that and blew right by her.
So there's a couple of Kennedys with Todd Williams winning that. Day Wilson fouled by Todd Williams. We've seen some amazing fans across the ACC. Now we need your help. This winter, ACC Network wants to experience each sport from your perspective. Take a picture or a video, tag it with the hashtag #AllTheDevotion, post it to your social, and you just might see it on the ACC Network. And I tell you what, a lot of these people who are left could be doing that right now. So you see they have a curtain of distraction like we've seen at Arizona State when the opponent shoot a free throw. And we have a guy dressed in traditional colonial garb trying to distract the free throw shooter. I love it. Worked on the second shot by Day Wilson, and now Duke trying to claw their way back into this. So Les Taylor still scoreless. Great elevation on that shot. She's not the tallest person in the world, listed at 5'8", but Day Wilson able to elevate over the defense. She's got 13.
Well, if you're UNC, you don't want to give up points, but great defense. They made Duke work for a good 18 seconds of the shot clock before Day Wilson was able to knock that shot down.
A moving screen on Adams. Her second foul.
See Destiny Adams going to set that screen, and yep, it gets a little bit of that extra hit. And that's on the guards. Guards have to take the defender to the screener.
So Anya Poole comes back in for Zelaya, who got extended minutes. So Anya Poole, you would think, would have fresh legs for the last 5.5 minutes of this game for North Carolina. Usby again. Forces the 15th turnover, but Duke doing a good job in general hanging on until this fourth quarter, since a sloppy first quarter. Paris. Adams can't corral it. Well, a timeout in Chapel Hill. North Carolina trying to hang on, up 8 on Duke. Atmosphere. He's been a busy man, going to all these football games, handing out trophies to national champions, including the North Carolina field hockey team who won the national championship. Courtney Banghart doing a heck of a job here. Kara Lawson leading Duke. What a game this has been. Pam Ward and Christy Thomascuddy joining you. And what a finish we should be in for, as Carolina is trying to send Duke to its first ACC loss of the season. Kara Lawson, by the way, 0-2 against North Carolina. Lost both games last year, didn't play the season before. Duke cut their season short during COVID before the conference season got underway. 11 seconds left to shoot. Day Wilson gonna inbound.
Interesting lineup for Duke right now out of that timeout.
Oliver. Sorry, Day Wilson. Oliver among those on the floor. And Day Wilson now with 16. And they force another turnover. You're right. With this defense, they're never really out of it.
Absolutely. And I guess at this point in the game, it doesn't matter who's on the floor with Duke as long as you keep Day Wilson on the floor.
He has been spectacular. Get some words from Kara Lawson before she inbounds. Day Wilson, remember she had an 8-0 scoring run in the first half? This is a 6-0 Day Wilson scoring run right now to get them to within 5.
I would make her get the ball out of her hands. I would run 2 people at her, do something right now, but make someone else for Duke beat you.
Kennedy Brown took steps.
Who's guarding her?
I believe that's #1 in your program and maybe #1 in your heart. Alyssa Usby. 16 turnovers now for Duke, 2 fewer than Carolina. Oh, that's a bad pass. You could see that one coming.
And Oliver did.
Ooh, DeJesus almost pulled it. Inside 4 minutes to go. DeJesus, nice dish to Oliver, but she went under the basket.
That was an ISO for Usby to go one-on-one, but Kennedy Brown didn't leave the paint, so they took it away.
Like you mentioned, both teams had great scouting. DeJesus just picked up her 2nd foul. Oliver going out now for Duke, trailing by 5. Taylor back in the game. No points. 0 for 4 from the floor, limited to just 3 minutes in the first half because of foul trouble. Stuck on 2. Usby, big shot, too short. Taylor comes away with it. 1-on-2, waits for help. Over Todd Williams, just got a piece of the rim, and then Day Wilson winds up on the floor. Out of bounds after being fouled.
She's okay. She's practicing the free throws already. That's a score.
There you go. 2nd on Paris. And so Day Wilson, who scored the last 6 points for Duke, heads to the free throw line. Maybe it's the curtain of distraction. Duke and North Carolina, part of our women's college basketball quadruple header on Sunday. Look at all these games. Just turn on the ACC network at noon and you're set. Missed them both, but got the rebound. DeJesus. Off the mark, Poole with the board. North Carolina's gone 4 minutes without scoring, clinging on to this 5-point advantage.
For Deja Kelly, you don't need to try to do too much. Read what the defense gives you, and gives you a 15-footer to knock down.
Day Wilson draws another foul, but Deja Kelly making better decisions and taking better shots in the second half.
And understanding time and score, knowing clock's on her team's side, comes off that on-ball, doesn't try to turn the corner, just creates enough space to knock down that jumper.
Todd Williams just picked up her 3rd, but Cheyenne Day Wilson, normally an excellent free throw shooter, around 80%, missed her last 2, and she's hanging on to her left wrist. And wincing as she heads back to the free throw line, where you see she's missed 4 of 6. Much better trip as Cheyenne Day Wilson has just Gotten her 18th point, a new season high for her. The previous was 17, and their only loss, that was to UConn in Portland in November. Inside 2 minutes. Kelly, Usby, Todd Williams. Wilson missing the three, but she was fouled by Todd Williams and will head right back to the free throw line. And Cheyenne Day-Wilson almost single-handedly keeping them close here in the fourth quarter.
We talked about Duke never being out of a game because of their defense. Well, right now I'm going to say they're never out of a game because of Day-Wilson. That time just manufactured offense.
One more free throw for Day-Wilson, who has scored the last 9 Duke points. Make it 10.
And that's big because it at least cuts this to a 2-possession game for Duke. Now they need to force UNC into a turnover.
Duke's last and only loss, November 25th against UConn. It's been almost 2 months since they've lost a game.
And substitution by Courtney Banghart a couple possessions ago to get the veteran Eva Hodgson on the court here during clutch time.
Well, Hodgson has not scored for Carolina. Usby again! Feasting on that baseline here in the second half. Celeste Taylor gives it over to Brown. Nope. Follow, good on the foul. Chance for a three-point play for Richardson.
Deja just creating off the bounce, sees the rotation and finds Usby under the rim. Just beautiful touch by Usby.
So Kennedy Todd Williams has just fouled out, and that gives a little extra time to get 30 seconds to get a sub in for Courtney Banghart to get everybody together. Todd Williams fouling out with 13 points and 5 rebounds. But an opportunity for Reagan Richardson.
3 offensive rebounds for Reagan Richardson in the game. None bigger than that last one.
Yeah, we told you earlier how impressed Kara Lawson is with Richardson, the sophomore, doing some good work. It's a 5-point advantage with just a minute 4 left. Welcome back as you take a look at the reset. Possession arrow in favor of Duke, but they are down by 5. North Carolina going to inbound. North Carolina in the second half shooting 74% from the floor. And that is a foul on Richardson. She picks up her second. We talk about these fans all night. This is a record. The record number of student fans ever to see a women's basketball game here at Carmichael, and they've been terrific.
And think about the history here. And yet history is made tonight with this attendance. Don't think you want your 5-player handling the ball against this pressure.
Oh, that was chancy, and Courtney Banghart leapt off the bench. She saw the same thing you did. Like, we love you on your pool, but you're not a point. Ivory wishes she had 58 seconds of eligibility left, because she'd go in there and help them get the ball.
I think there's about 5,000 fans in here who think the same thing.
Paris, the freshman, inbounds it to Kelly, who quickly gets it past the midcourt line. To Jesus on defense. Duke needs a stop.
Yeah, they don't need a foul now. They need to play this out and get a stop.
Kelly all the way to the bucket and gets it. What a second half for Deja Kelly and the Heels. Doing a great job as Carolina's 38 seconds away from sending Duke to its first loss in the league this season and only second loss overall. The other one was to UConn. Taylor, first points of the night.
So Pam, a delay of game warning was called on Day Wilson because she went across the line. Meanwhile, that allows Courtney Banghart to call timeout.
And Duke was actually Coach Lawson's second choice. The hardest call she ever had to make was to call Gestencourse and say, I'm not going. Went to Tennessee, and now she's back at Duke. Full circle moment. Duke hasn't fouled yet. Now they do. With 27 seconds left in the game.
I was kind of surprised there. As soon as Anya Poole caught the ball, that Reagan Richardson just didn't kind of pounce on her, trying to force that turnover and then go for the foul.
So now Anya Poole heads to the line. She had a really good first half, pulling down boards, has 9 rebounds on the night.
Her defense was stellar too,
Yeah.
especially with all the on-ball screen offense that Duke ran. I thought she blew up a number of the plays where Duke was trying to get downhill to that.
Grew up in a split household. Her dad was a Carolina fan. Her mom cheered for Duke. Goes 1 out of 2. And Carol Lawson calls a timeout. Down by 6. So North Carolina coming off a huge win here against NC State on Sunday. Trying to get back-to-back wins against top 15 rivals. And North Carolina going to take on Georgia Tech next on the ACC Network. Congratulations to Nell Fortner as Georgia Tech finally got its first win in the league. Pittsburgh still looking for its first win, so some winnable games there. Then we'll see them at Louisville on ESPN2 on February 5th. And for Duke, they're going to go home, which is, they're going to get on that bus and have to hang in there for about 20 minutes to get home, and then they'll play Syracuse and Virginia Tech back-to-back. Very interested in seeing that Virginia Tech team. They played a tough game tonight, came away with the win. Big game at Notre Dame on the 5th. ACC this year, man, no dominant team that we've been used to seeing. Dave Wilson just chucked one up, and it went in to slice the lead in half. Hodgson fouled with 22.5 seconds left.
That was a great job by Duke on the out-of-bounds execution. They caught UNC in that amoeba defense. Dave Wilson knew she just needed to create a little space over Poole and knocks it down.
Look at the numbers for her. 26, by the way, a career high that she set last year against Troy. Big free throws for Hodgson.
I was going to say, guess who's on the call for that game, Pam?
Over you?
It'd be me.
You must be her good luck charm because she's having a heck of a game tonight. Big for Hodgson to make it a 2-possession game. And another timeout taken by Duke.
So Pam, it's going to be interesting here. Does Courtney Banghart come back out in that amoeba defense again, or does she go man-to-man? Right now, if I am Duke, if I can get a quick 3, a good look, I'm going to take it. Otherwise, this is still a two-possession game. I need to get points here. So either a quick three or drive to the rim. Don't waste a lot of time trying to get a three-pointer here. And then, now Duke is out of timeout, so they have got to get into that defense and try to force a turnover.
Now, if you're Carolina, are you concentrating on Day Wilson? She's 3 of 5 from 3.
Absolutely, and so that's why I'm saying, if I'm Courtney Banghart, and again, Courtney's won a lot more games than I ever did, I would get out of the Amoeba defense here, and I would go man-to-man. That way you have an assignment. I would make sure that you're switching all screens as well.
Let's see how we go. Celeste Taylor about to inbound. There's Day Wilson running off. Guarded by Hodgson. Taylor.
Around.
Yeah, they need a shot. Wasted a lot of time. And then over the back, Adams. With just under 12 seconds left to go, picked up her 3rd foul.
And that's a youthful mistake by Destiny Adams. At that point, you just want to let it go, make Brown have to score from the field, but that was just too slow developing of a play for Duke.
Kennedy Brown's first points of the night. She's 0 for 7 from the floor. Delivers. And now the pressure. Kelly fouled almost immediately.
So big free throws for Kelly. This is a one-possession game right now.
She's 5 of 6 from the line tonight. 3rd foul on DeJesus for Duke. Duke is out of timeouts. Kelly might have just put it out of reach. And the foul near half court by Paris.
And that's what Courtney Banghart wanted. She didn't want to give them an opportunity to shoot the three. Applauding Paris there after that foul.
And Day Wilson back at the line, where she's 6 of 11 tonight. She has 7 of Duke's 19 field goals this evening. Brown out, Balagoon in. Kelly asking the fans to get even louder. .24 now for Day Wilson. Hodgson, full speed ahead, fouled it by Taylor at midcourt.
Pam, it was subtle, but Paris is behind her. As soon as she caught it, go! Yes. Telling her to get away.
Yeah, that's your freshman.
Exactly.
Now Hodgson can salt it away here at the free throw line, where she's 2 for 2. Adams back in for Poole. Defensive substitution.
Two-possession ball game now.
This is the 104th time these two teams have met. No fouls, says coach. Carolina has won 52, about to go to 53 wins to 51 losses against Duke and the Blue Devils. go down for only the second time this season, and they are no longer unbeaten in the ACC.
Hats off to these fans and to both these teams. It wasn't a perfect game by either team, but the greatest part of all of it is there will be a rematch in February.
Can't wait. They'll end the regular season against each other. For Christy Thomas Scuddy, the rest of our crew here.